Welcome back, y'all, to Active Sports TV, and we giving y'all post-fight reaction today. But before we do that, I want y'all to make sure y'all give me a thumbs up. Y'all go ahead and look down at the bottom, man. And y'all subscribe, man. Y'all see that bell icon over there, man. Subscribe so you can get all the latest content from your boy Active, man. I'm giving it to you, law, cut, and right direct. So I mean, ain't no need not to like or subscribe when you're getting content like this. Now let's jump into it, man. We're gonna go ahead and break down the fight that I just witnessed, that I just went ahead and analyzed. Shakur Stevenson, the Flash, the Fury, you know what I mean? Mr. Can't Be Touched, Shakur Stevenson versus Artem Hardartunin. If I said that right, man, hopefully I didn't butcher your last name, man. But I believe this man's an Olympian, man, bronze medalist with over 300 and some amateur fights. You know what I mean? Sorry about that, y'all. Let me go ahead and turn that off. You know, but getting back to it, this fight here was, I believe, for Shakur Stevenson WBC or I'm not too sure on exactly what belt they were fighting for or a title eliminator, but I believe that Shakur is the current lightweight WBA or WBC. I may be mistaken, but I know he's one of those champions at 135. And as we all know, Shakur Stevenson is highly seeked actor. You know what I mean? One of the elite talents out there. And I mean, there's nothing that this man can't do in the ring when it comes to being elusive. Keeping his hands up, being able to fight going backwards to a certain extent. I mean, he gets the full package. You know what I mean? For the most part, this dude that he was fighting, this fighter, like I said, it's decorated in the amateurs. I seen this dude fight before. He fought Frank Martin, and in that fight, he did quite well. Artem is a real shifty guy. You know what I mean? Like I say, decorated in the amateurs. We know the amateur pedigree is, they come, with the fundamentals. You know what I mean? They come able to, punch in bunches, keep themselves elusive. That's how you win in the amateurs. And this dude also, you know what I mean, had 300 and some amateur fights. I believe the only fighter similar to that number from right off the back, like I said, I'm just giving you right off the dome, is Lomachenko, another 135 pounder who's also an elite talent that we all, are calling for and we want to see, Shakur and Loma get in that ring. And Bob Arum, come on, man, make it happen. But get to the post fight breakdown from what I seen. The fight was one sided. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson went in there and do what Shakur Stevenson does. Technician up in there, you know what I mean? Keeping them hands up, keeping the guard tight, slipping and rolling, pretty much waiting and looking for an opportunity to counter and possibly stun the boy, hurt the boy, and get him up out of there. But to keep it all honest and keep it real, we got some things that we got to unpack with Shakur. You know what I mean? Love his talent, love his personality. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna rep these young fighters and try to push these young fighters to be the best that they can be. You know what I mean? It's not one of those slander channels. This ain't one of those. We putting them down and we not giving these dudes they just do. But with giving they just do, we also gonna give constructive criticism because myself as a boxing fan, this is not my first rodeo. Shakur Stevenson is not my first fighter that I've been watching or fan of or just a study of when it comes to just my boxing knowledge of the overall sport. I grew up, in the 90s era, you know what I mean, what we would call the gladiator era, you know what I mean, especially when it came to those heavyweights. And then I also seen in the early 2000s and the late 2000s when the lower, weight classes began to rise and it began to, shape up the sport. And throughout all of these time frames, we have seen some great elite, off the wall type of talent. One of a kind type talent. We can go from in the '90s. You know what I mean? As far as little guys, you got Pernell Whitaker right off the bat. I mean, one of the best when it comes to being elusive, counter punching, um, just making you, miss all your shots and then hitting you with one of those shockers to make you lean. Now with Shakur Stevenson, he has a lot of Pernell Whitaker style. He mimics his style, but what Shakur lacks thereof is Pernell Whitaker aggressiveness and timing. I seen the night when he was fighting Artem, I believe Artem, uh, that he was waiting too much. You know what I mean? When you in these pockets and the man, you in the pocket with the man, he's not going anywhere. He's pretty much slipping and sliding the punches that's coming to him, and you being so decorated as an amateur yourself, silver medalist, you should be able to cut off that ring and get down to the punches that's going to accumulate the most damage. And when I say by that, like, he did what he was supposed to do. Don't get it twisted. As a boxer, is to hit and not get hit. And for the most part, you can't deny what you seen tonight that Shakur Stevenson performed exactly that. But we looking to see if you're gonna go to the next level. We, like I said, the only credentials in the resume that I'm able to tell you guys is basically what I know about Artem. Um, ha, ha, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce the last name, but this man is decorated in the amateurs. But when we go to the pros, he does not have that elite competition. He does not have, you know, those rounds underneath his belt to where he can expose some of the flaws that you presented out there tonight, Shakur. You and this goes to Devin Haney as well. Y'all have to get back to eating greens, bruh, macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, all of the southern food y'all can possibly get in your body, man, and try to stay still on weight. But get with those older fighters, especially the like I said, the older fighters in your weight class who dominated, who had an element to the game that I'm not seeing in this new era, and I can only go based upon the best in the top tier as of now, and Shakur Stevenson is apparently that. I'm not seeing that in these fights. I think the last fight Shakur had was against uh, Edwin De Los Santos, I believe, if I'm not getting his name wrong. But I know his first name's Edwin, dude out of the Dominican Republic, was known. I watched him a couple of times as well as, a vicious counter puncher, aggressive type style. And we see you can neutralize these different styles. I'm gonna give you your credit. I see when you in there with an aggressive puncher, you can get up in there and you can punch. I mean, you can stop that puncher from punching. You know what I mean? You gotta give you credit. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me go ahead and make sure my camera is all right so y'all can see who I am. You know what I mean? We ain't but y'all work with me. So with that being said, man, we see you can neutralize and step your game up and be elite when it comes to that aspect and dynamic of your fight game. But you've yet to been challenged by the upper echelon of fighters in your weight class. You dominated 130. I believe you dominated 125. That's where you started at. And, other than that, those fighters back then, I believe you. I'm not too familiar. Like I said, I ain't done my full homework on the past fighters and those weight classes that you know conquered, but they not noticeable names like that. I think the dude out of Canelo camp, what's his name? Not coming to me at the moment in time. You know what I mean? But these guys is not the cream of the crop. At 135, we got a mix of everybody. You got, first of all, the top, well, at 140, I believe these guys are now moving up to 140, taking 8 shots at 140, like Devin Haney, Timo. Uh, I believe Shakur is still on that fence. He's, like I say, he's a 135 champion. He has not quite moved up to 140. But once he gets, that Loma fight, that Tank fight, whatever Tank is on, whenever he planning on fighting, I mean, this dude is doing hopscotch throughout all the weight classes, fighting a whole bunch of nobodies, and I'm not impressed with the knockout percentages and the KOs when you not fighting top tier competition. I mean, you boys got to get in the ring. I mean, salute Artem, you feel me, from getting in there, but what is it to really say other than this man needs more experience? He wasn't able to capitalize or show us anything different to make you do something different. We all clamoring, Shakur, for you to step it up and go to the next level, bro. And the next level means figuring out what's your go-to be able to look good and dominate these folks. Today, I thought I seen an amateur Olympic trial boxing match with what, 8 ounce, 6 ounce. Yo, I know the heavyweights wear 10 ounce, so 8 ounce gloves, bro. We should be seeing a lot more punishment being, put in to these fighters that you fighting, man. I mean, if you cannot knock them out, understandable. But you need to be able to pinpoint your shots, make them powerful enough, shocking enough, to where we see a visible effect. To where these guys are backing up and retreating from you. Therefore, it's more likely for you to go in for the kill and use your skills and punching and bunching abilities to go ahead and get this man out of here. You don't have to knock these dudes out cold. Floyd Mayweather wasn't knocking these dudes out cold. Pernell Whitaker wasn't knocking these dudes out cold. Some of the other great boxers, they was also great pain distributors. Understand what I'm saying? Meaning they knew how to dish that pain out and make you feel them in the ring. Even if they couldn't knock you out, they was able to stun you and take control and take full ring control over the fight. With you young guys, we see, especially Shakur and Devin, y'all are elite talent. When it comes to boxing, y'all are the cream of the crop as far as being elusive, being able to slip and dodge, be fundamentally sound with the fundamentals of boxing, hitting and not getting hit. But what happens when you get hit? What happens when you fight a real elite talent like each other? Tank Davis is no slouch. I don't respect his boxing resume and the way he go about doing things, but let's get one thing straight. Tank dish out the pain. He make night. Sleepy JJ. That's what Tank will definitely turn off the lights. And with a dude like that, you can't give him opportunities which you not giving him no fire back. You just basically turning the sand, the timer sand over and watching the sand go down to the bottom. You just it's a matter of time before you get caught for that sand empty out on the other side, man, and you just out of time. It done caught up to you. You can't be leaving these dudes in the ring, giving them opportunities to be able to steal these fights from you. Even though you elusive and your defense is impeccable against, let me say again, against the fighters you're fighting, the tiers of fighter that you're fighting, it looks great far as defensively. We want to see the full package. We want to see the defense and the offense complement each other the way that it makes you look like the golden egg, the golden goose, the where you stand out amongst your peers. Because right now, you got the boy Isaac Pitbull Cruz. He getting better at 140. Frank Martin is a decent boxer. We just seen what his kryptonite is. We just seen what caused his demise. It wasn't that Frank wasn't a great boxer. It wasn't that Frank wasn't winning the fight. It wasn't that Frank was not controlling the fight. Frank did not try to establish himself with gaining the man respect in the ring by dishing out and distributing enough pain to Gervonta Davis to make him reset and think. It ain't going to be that easy. I'm not going to be able to just bull rush, cut off the ring, and wait to get my iconic knockout shot. Shakur. And all of the rounds, I've seen you right there in the ring with Artem. There's no way a man should be standing in front of you with no defensive ability other than circling the ring, tiring himself out, because he did a lot of that tonight. Artem, I don't know what you was doing, dog. I don't know what's going on with the Olympic marathon and all that. Trying to, what's that? Jump, that double jump, jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. Like, listen, dog, you boxing. This ain't nothing. This ain't no. You ain't gonna get no win by, half stepping and not committing. If Artem honestly would have had stood in the pocket and was being more precise and pinpointing with his shots, the outcome of this fight could have been different. If he had power, if he was able to place his punches in the ideal shots that will catch our eye as fans, he could have turned the fight at any point in this fight. I'm not gonna lie. Talking about this post fight is just as hard as watching it. It's just as hard as watching it, bro. We going to sleep, bro. Fans is leaving the theater. Fans is leaving the stadium, bro. because they're not entertained. And we know the quality of competition is favorable for you, Shakur Stevenson. The great young Shakur Stevenson. You know, the up and coming, you know, soon to take over the king of the ring. Shout out to Bud Crawford. You know, you're a part of that team. You're a part of that greatness. Don't sit there and not take advantage and better yourself. Right now, you are right next to the greatest fighter, I believe, of this era. This man is a switchblade. He can do 101 things. He adjusts in the ring to any style. You got to do more homework, Shakur. You can't be content with just winning these fights. Boxing is boxing, man. We know what boxing is. We don't need to go into details. We see how these judges, how these fights turned out. Sometimes the actual winner don't get the win. This is a fact, Shakur. You know, I didn't catch the Oshaki Foster fight versus Robin Kosenko. I didn't catch that fight, but you know, I will watch that and I will give you guys a post-fight reaction on that. But I heard is exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you leave it up to the judges pick upon favor. And if you ain't done nothing within these rounds convincingly to make us be able to advocate for you and say, ain't no way they stealing this from him. Ain't no way he lost this round. Ain't no way that dude was able to raise his hand or able to get any type of leverage on you when you go in there and don't leave it to the audience or the judges. We fans at the end of the day, we want entertainment. People are biased. We know this. The way you conquer that, the way you don't have to go to these post-fight interviews with your head down, making excuses, talking about what you gonna try to do. Listen, bro, you 22 fights in, 23 now. They saying you a champion. You hear what I'm saying? You are a champion. You cannot be doing contender stuff, bro. Amateur stuff, bro. We should not see back-to-back fights like that ever again. I don't want to be sitting around here watching your fights as lullabies, bro. I got my kids, man. I put on the lullabies for them and whatnot so they go to bed with glowing dice. I thought I had some glow in the dark stars in this mug. I was ready to get the pillow and go to bed. This ain't it, bro. It's not it. You better than this, Shakur. You are elite. Don't just master your craft and be one-dimensional, bro, and be great in one aspect of your game. This fight game is dirty. Tank is putting boys to sleep. Don't matter if he knocking out the cab driver. He putting them to sleep. Don't matter if they came and just fixed the plumbing in your house. He putting them to sleep. And they're marketing that because that's what's going to sell. The boy, Trouble Garcia, that's his new name. We gonna get on him too. Boy, I got something for you, Trouble Garcia. We can make a few names, but we're gonna just stick with Trouble Garcia for right now. You see the boy, Trouble Garcia, Just not, well, thank God boxing got something right and fixed that for the great Devin Haney, who's deserving of that L being taken back, because to me, that ain't no loss. Trouble Garcia taking all of those, you know what's, enhancements just to try to take victory from the great Devin Haney. And why was that possible? Because you and Devin got a lot of similar characteristics when it comes to this fight game. Devin is a boxing technician. Hit you 101 times. You ain't gonna see him coming. But you guys gotta grasp the aspect of you can hit a person 100 times. If they still coming, you ain't did nothing. But tire yourself out and make yourself more favorable to that man. Eat the cornbread, bro. Get the push-ups going. These boys, did you see Trouble Garcia? He taking extras to power himself up. These boys know they need that. Y'all got it naturally. Don't be no fool. And don't think that all these dudes can't catch you. You that elusive. Just because you ain't been hit, you ain't gonna get hit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Everybody gets hit hard. Everybody one day get hit hard. You're gonna need a little bit more than being able to outpunch your man and hope he don't hit you. And what's the deal with these counter punches with no flair on it? The purpose of a counter punch is for it to shock you, stun you, to make you readjust. If you pity patting counter punches, what is it to look for? What is it that you can catch me with? That's the best way. The 2-inch jab counter is the best knockout punch in boxing, along with the uppercut and other ones as well. But the purpose of a counter punch is for it to come off of the fighter who blindly made a mistake and to be punished for that mistake. If you're sitting there waiting, and then missing the counter punch at that, where's the work rate? Where's the work rate? How are we gonna win these rounds if, first of all, we're not being first? We're not aggressively being first at times. Not all the time, at times. Noticeable so that we give you credit. You can't sit there and be like, okay, I got this shell down packed. My defense is impeccable. I'm going to sit here and just wait on something and wait for it to come. What if it don't come? That man's still swimming over your shoulders and getting lucky, hitting you on your forehead, maybe on your chin, hitting that body. These are points being added up. And some judges give more credit towards these things. We know this. So, just to sum everything up, man, the fight, like I said, itself, if you've seen a Shakur Stevenson fight, you've seen this one. Artem, great opponent, a class act afterwards. I would like to see him get some more work. I seen what he did with Frank Martin. He made Frank Martin look bad. I must say he made Frank Martin look bad. So I was anticipating him doing a little bit more in that ring tonight. Um, Other than him getting a lot of cardio, we didn't get that. Shakur Stevenson, was able to, basically go to the gym tonight. This was a gym run for him. Um, we know his talent. We want to see more, man. But I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. This is Active Sports TV. If you like content like this, don't forget, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you look at that icon on your right hand side, man, and make sure you click that bell for me, man, and try to get all the notifications, man. And whenever I post any content, you're gonna get all content, all sport content, as well as music reactions, the whole 9 yards. It's a sport, any competition, Active gonna be involved. I'm gonna give you also current events and my opinions, my personal opinions on the things that I think of that seem to pop up. But if you like this video, once again, don't forget, man, give me a thumbs up, bro. I'm putting in the work. Go ahead and subscribe, y'all. Active, we out. Peace.